Hi, I am Mandy of Madcow Designs. It is August 22nd, 2023, and this is part 4 of All Those Old Whips. Yeah, I can't say I'm feeling real good about this, y'all. It has been a little over 6 months since the last episode of this, and I've gained 3 projects. I'm not feeling good. Look at this. That's not okay. Anyways, when this mini-series started, I went through the house and I gathered up every single project. Everybody that was hiding, everybody in hibernation, whatever you want to call it, my bag of shame. I found out everyone, put them all on a list, and there were 17 projects. This week, I am down to 11, which again is higher than last episode, but it's still less than we started with originally. Still more than I feel comfortable with at the moment. But that is why I am recording today. So I will have fresh, re-energizedness to go forth and finish some of these whips. At least do the next step, so that I can finish some of them. So today's episode will have splices cut into it every so often where I am doing things later in the day, like counting rows and seeing how much further I need to go on projects till I'm done. Weird, tedious little things like that that just need to get done, and I can't manage to make myself sit down and do them. But if you're watching me, I will. I will now do the tedious things I didn't want to do. Accountability. Okay. Of the 11 projects that I'm about to show you, 4 of them were in part 1 of this mini-series. 4 of them. One is a Scrappy blanket, so it really doesn't count. We don't count Scrappy because we know it's going to take a long time. I have 3 projects that really need to get finished. I am sick of looking at them. I feel like y'all are sick of me complaining about them. They just need to get done. So I am going to start with newest to oldest. Some of it is not a problem. Some of it's a big problem. We'll talk about it as we go. You ready? I feel like it's going to be a very long episode. So maybe get a snack and a drink and a big project. I have my water. Let's go. Up first, in my Madcow bag are my beach socks. Y'all have seen this a lot here lately. This is Universal Yarn's Bamboo Pop Sock in the colorway High Tide. I am making a vanilla sock, and this is sock 2. I did not bring sock 1 in here, but this is sock 2, and it's vanilla. It's just good, wholesome mindlessness, which is probably about to come in real handy because I'm about to start scheduling downtime for myself. I have gotten to the point where I am just constantly working on things for market right now, and my brain never slows down, and it's getting hard to go to sleep at night. So I am going to schedule downtime with probably the Good Witch, some good cozy time, and vanilla knitting will be perfect for that. Mindless, but then the fingers don't get all twitchy because you're not doing anything. So there's one. Not a problem, ain't worried about it. To the floor. I will just be tossing everybody over there on the floor when we're done. Okay, second is in last year's summer sock camp bag. This one is a problem. This is my Stephen West surprise sock along. I'm going to show it because, well, y'all should all know what it looks like by now. So here I am. This is my right sock and my left sock. The dark is Southern Skeins Trick or Treat, and the light is Fangirl Fibers 1,000 Yellow Daisies. I like the socks. They're very pretty. They are not going to fit me, but they are going to be gorgeous wall art. As you can tell, I have a heel flap with no gusset. I have done the gusset and part of the foot. I just kind of lost steam and I wanted to do all of the fall market stuff and just stuck them off to the side, and then, oh dear Lord, y'all. I use printout patterns because that's how my brain functions. And I take a little sticky note and I put it on whatever row I'm on. And then I just move it. Every time I finish a row, I move it down. Works great. Unless you put a book on top of it and then you pick your book up and the sticky note comes off with the book. I have no idea what row I'm on. I don't remember, so I can't just easily pick this up and keep going. So today's mission: read the pattern, read my knitting, and find out where I am. I feel like I may have finished this sock simply based on the fact that I'm at the beginning of round, which is really awkward in this pattern because it's along the bottom of the foot. So today's mission: find out where I am in the pattern so I can pick it up and keep working on this. I have finished the right sock and it is time to start the left sock gusset. I have marked where I am on the pattern and I can just pick it up and start knitting at some point in time, whenever I feel like it. Next up is my rainy day socks in a summer sock camp bag from 21. And oh, this bag is a hot mess. Okay. This is Kimbers Cozy Creations in Singing in the Rain. It was a subscription yarn that I received, and I even knit up one of the socks. It's beautiful. It is in my 2x2 feet pattern, and I have not started the second sock. I don't have second sock syndrome. I love this. It's gorgeous. It's pretty. I want to make it. I just haven't cast on the second sock. I say that I don't have second sock syndrome because I needed the needles. This was back when Sock Week happened, and the surprise sock along was happening at the same time, and I needed the needles I was using for this pair to go over and do all of that, and then I got distracted by other new and shiny things, and I just simply need to cast this on. That's all there is to it. I need to cast it on. And I'm not worried about this project. It's going to happen because, well, that's pretty. I want to wear those socks. Okay, we have our first blanket project in a knotty knitting sack, and it is Scrappy. So I made a magic knot ball. I started it a year or so ago and this is all that's left. It's getting pretty small at this point. I have been working on this on Sundays as part of Scrappy Sunday, and it's grown so much. It is beautiful. I love it. I like the weight of it. It is going to be so nice when it's finished. I don't know when this is going to get finished because it's a Scrappy blanket. I have started another magic knot ball, but it is T90. This takes a while, and so this might, once I get through this ball, this one might just kind of have to go into hibernation until I get more yarn to put in it. But y'all, all these colors and the way that they just meld together, oh, I love it. So this is the Moss Stitch Square. Yeah, Moss Stitch Square by Cheryl D. Floyd. It's a YouTube video that will be linked down below. Everything I talk about will be linked, but I will have a link over to that YouTube video for you so that you can make your square and it will come out perfectly square instead of having a slight twist in it. So, oh, love it. Okay. And I have a feeling it's going to outgrow this bag soon. It's getting a little hard to keep it in there. It's a full little bag. But again, not a project that I'm worrying about because it's Scrappy. I knew when I started it that we were going to be in for the long haul with it. Okay. My Fates Thread Beetlejuice bag. This is my dad's Musselburgh Hat. It is so close to being done. This is what I have left. The yarn is glowing. Sunlight's doing some odd things to this. Okay. It is Southern Skeins Night Owl sock set. So this is in fact the mini that came with it. And this is a lot greener and not quite so sickly of a green. Okay. Anyways, so Dad wanted gray and lime green hat. That is what he is getting. I am to the point now that I need to count how many rows of green I did on this side so that I can do the same number of rows on this side. I can decrease, bind off, and then this gray stripe will be right in the center. But I have to count the rows. Today's mission, count rows. Not something I normally do. Normally with my Musselburgh hats, I will just knit until 10 grams. Usually I do the increases, weigh, see how much it took, and then I'll knit, leaving a couple extra grams for comfort, and that's how I know to do my decreases. So I use almost a full skein of sock yarn, but this one's a little different because that, and it should be a super slouchy hat, which is what he wanted. So, and again, Musselburgh Hat by Ysolda Teague. Must count the rows. Okay, I have my dad's Musselburgh hat, a couple of light bulb stitch markers, and a couple of these guys from Coco Knits. I'm going to use them to count how many rows I have done so I can see how many more rows I need to do on this side so it is a mirror image. First I have to find the last increase that I did, which is here. Okay, that one is an increase round. Now for the fun of just counting. Okay, I currently have 56 rows on this side, so I need to do 22 more, and then I can start my decreases. I am going to go through and double count everything one more time just to make sure. The next project is not even in a bag. This is the fruit punch socks that I am making for my mom. And I finished the first one and have not started the second one because I did this before summer sock camp started, and while she was allowing whips this year, my brain did not allow for whips. So I was waiting for summer sock camp to end, but it's kind of driving me crazy. So I think this is going to go ahead and get cast on so that I can work on it. Again, it's vanilla knitting. I'm using my Magic Vanilla pattern. And I want it to be done. I don't want this on the list anymore. So I think I'm pretty much finished with summer sock camp for the year. If I get any more done, that's great. Otherwise, it's time for market, so I need to be doing work things. And socks are just going to be for fun. Nice at evening time, relaxing vanilla knitting. Not throwing that one on the floor. It'll get lost. In my makeup bag from Five Below is my Flax Sweater from Tin Can Knits. So I recently picked this up and started working on it again. It's so soft and lovely and wonderful and well past the sleeve split. Yeah. I need to try on one of my other flax sweaters so that I can count how many rows the body length needs to be. That way I can count these rows and make it to match, because I know from the 2 previous sweaters I've made, this yarn is going to grow. It's an acrylic yarn, and when I wash it, it grows. I went ahead and dropped down multiple pattern sizes so that it should come out the correct size after it grows, which means I can't try it on now to make sure that it fits. I'm going to put on one of my other ones, measure out how long I want it to be, mark it on that sweater, count the rows. You'll see in a minute. We'll go and do that together. So yeah, and then I should just be able to do that number of rows on this one and it work. Right? Yeah. Should probably go ahead and count the sleeve while I'm at it, since I can't try it on. Yep. Excuse me. I need to go ahead and count the sleeve rows while I have the sweater that I'm trying on, so that I will know for when I get to that point and this bad boy doesn't get stuck again. But yeah, this round and round, it has been good car knitting, so that's what it was pulled out for recently and been getting worked on. Mildly worried about this one getting finished because I set it down for several months. I don't know why I set it down. I got bored. Maybe because it's just solid gray. I'm not sure. So that's my only real concern with the fact of it not getting done, is that it seemed really easy to just set down and forget about. Okay, I went ahead and tossed on one of the Flax Light sweaters that I made previously, and I have a couple of these locking stitch markers. I'm going to put one on the length that I want the body to be and one on the length I want the arm sleeve to be. So maybe then I can count the rows and know how far I need to go on my new one. So let's try this. Let's see. My armhole is definitely not where it should be. So I'm just going to kind of use my hand to hold it where it should be at. And then that gives me an idea of how long it would be, which actually is a really good length. Let's see here. I feel like this is the top of my jeans. They're a little rolled. And that's where the sweater should land if the armpit were in the right place. So I think that's actually a really good length. It's just, currently it's a touch bit long. It almost is as long as my shorts. It's a touch bit long because the armpits are in the wrong spot. So I think that'll work. The sleeve. Oh my God! I like where the sleeves are. Okay. Of course, the armpit, y'all, I'm one of these people. I do this number, so I have to have long sleeves. But my armpit, again, is not in the right spot, so if I put it where it should be, then it would be like a normal length sleeve. And of course, this one has the garter panel on it, which I'm not doing. I've omitted that on the current one. Okay, so I think what needs to happen is keep this exact length. It will end up being a little bit shorter, not by much, just a little bit shorter, because the armpit should be in the correct spot. And I'm going to maybe do an inch longer on the sleeve. I'm also not doing fitted sleeves on it, so it's not going to have this taper effect. It's just going to be solid the whole way there. No garter panel. I think, I don't know, y'all, I really like long sleeves. They can't be too long. There's no such thing as too long of a long sleeve. I'm probably going to add an extra inch of length to the sleeve to make up for the fact that that should be over here. Because, I mean, again, womp. Yeah, that is far too short. I do not want to see my hand. Okay. Perfect on the length. An inch more on the sleeve. We have work to do. My Jumbo Fates thread granny square bag is my Scrappy blanket. So we have officially reached the point of the including this project, the next 4 are going to be old whips that were in the original video. Okay, we have seen this before. I absolutely love this project. It is every sock I have ever knit. I love it. As far as standard podcast episodes go, I've been trying to only show it when I finish a row at this point, which is like 13 squares, I think. And as you can see, I've only made 3 squares since the last episode because, well, it takes a while to knit a pair of socks that can then become this. It does also have Musselburgh hats in it, so when I finish my dad's hat, I should be able to put a square in for that one as well. This is a pattern by Betsy Makes. It is the Scrappy Sock Yarn Blanket. That's what she calls it. And it's crocheted little miter squares. Loving it. I have absolutely no problem with the fact that this is going to be a very long-term project. It is what it is, and I love it. It's going to be years and years of sock knitting to show. I'm excited about that. So I only put in 1 square for every pair of socks that I make, and Look at that roll. And then from there, if I have any more scrap yarn left over, depending on how much I have, it'll either go into the scrap bin. When it gets to less than 10 grams, it goes into the moss stitch blanket, into the magic knot ball, and becomes that. So I use up all of my yarn. In another Fates Thread jumbo bag, NES, I don't like you anymore, but I'm not ripping it out. Because I mean, I like it well enough. I don't know. It's a little bit of a love-hate relationship. So, this is the Lazy Waves Blanket by Dedri Uys. It's another crocheted blanket. I really like to crochet blankets. Okay, I love crocheting blankets. I do not have a need for that many blankets. I just love making them. So, this is all of my favorite 70s colors. It is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, and I forgot the colorway names. Let's see. We have orange, avocado, Semolina, and there it is, Marina. So I love the color palette. I really like the blanket. I don't care for working on it because it's constantly changing colors. I don't like changing colors. That's one of the things I've learned about myself. I don't like to change colors. I also hate picking up stitches, which is why I don't do a heel flapping gusset anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of blanket here. And there's still a lot more to go. I don't know how much more to go, but there's still a lot more to go. It's going to be really pretty when it gets finished. I just have zero willpower to work on it. I will, though. It's too much to rip out, so it's not getting ripped out. That I can guarantee you. I have to work on it. This is one of those that I am worried about because I don't have the willpower to work on it, and I need to. This one needs to get bumped up on the list of things to do. Part of the problem might be the fact that I keep putting it in my studio and it needs to live next to the sofa so that I feel a little more guilty and I actually work on it. Maybe that's what needs to happen. It needs to live next to the sofa. Okay, we got 2 more to go, and y'all know how much I hate this next project. It's my Hexipuffs. I hate them. I hate them. Don't do it. If you're thinking about making the Hexipuff thing, the beekeeper's quilt, don't do it. Just don't. It's so cute. It uses up your scrap yarn. It's tedious. It is so tedious to constantly be casting on and increasing and decreasing and binding off, and you have to pay attention to every single row because every other row is an increase, every other row is a decrease, and it's tedious. Don't do it. Absolutely beautiful. If you're down for the tedious stuff, go right ahead. If you know you're not, don't do it. Beautiful. Mine was never intended to be a quilt. This is a cushion to go on my fireplace hearth for extra seating. Originally, I was going to do the whole length of our hearth, which is like 7 feet, 7 or 8 feet. I think it's 8. And now it's shrunk down to it's going to be as wide as the fireplace insert, which I don't know how big is. It's wider than this, I can tell you that. Because we actually keep decorative stuff on either end of our fireplace. I like having the decorative stuff out. I do not like making Hexipuffs. So this has shrunk a good bit. I have a few more in a jar that I did not bring back here or up here. So I have been working on making a few more. I probably only have like 5 in the jar. So we need to go to the fireplace, set this out, and kind of estimate how many more I need to make so that I can have some form of a goal to work towards. So today's mission, how many more puffs will it take? I hate you. Okay. It's not good. Okay, my fireplace is 44 inches and I have 23-ish. Oh, I need to just about double what I have. Oh dear Lord. Okay. One poof is about 2.5, well, probably more like 2 inches per poof. Okay. 44 divided by 2 is going to be 22 long. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm already 10 long. So I need to make it another 12 long by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't count. Where's a line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wide? Oh my god. I have to make 96 more poofs. Sweet Jesus. I've already made like 80 then, right? If it was 8 by 10, that'd be 80. And I still have 96 more poofs to go. I'm never gonna finish. If I make it a little bit shorter? I don't know, y'all. 96 more poofs. That's a lot. Oh. But it sure is nice. Okay. Okay, 96 to go. Last project. This is in a big old bag from Knit Happy. It was gifted to me. I don't know where it actually came from. Every time I show this, y'all all make the nicest comments about this project, and you always ask me to please don't rip it out. I promise you, this will never get ripped out. I don't know that it's ever going to get finished. It is from 2015, and it is the Knit Purl Hunter Building in Color. I have the book. I have all the yarn. I don't know. I feel confident that I have the knowledge. I just have a very hard time actually making myself work on this. It's so pretty. I love it. It'll be a wall hanging when I finish it. I know I was supposed to use it. It's a blanket. You're supposed to use it. I'm not using it. It will be a wall hanging the day that I finish it. Look at that. Cable, intarsia cabling. Like, are you serious? This waffle, more intarsia. Whatever that is. I think this one was mosaic. And then short rows. Like, how fun. I still love all the colors. I don't know how many more panels I have to go. I do know that I still have this one that's almost finished. It might be finished. I should probably measure it out. Let's do that here. Let's just grab this and this and oh, I'm a few inches short. So this still needs a few inches on it and it will be ready to add in, and then I have a couple more panels to do. This was a class that I was taking at a yarn store that the class just kind of fell apart. People dropped out. It was a Saturday class and some people dropped, other people moved to the Thursday class, which was not an option for me. I was working, and they were like, oh, well, it's just you, so you can come in whenever you like and we'll start the next panel. Nah, y'all. I am a procrastinator. I need deadlines. I need you to give me a deadline. I needed the group peer pressure to get this project done. So it didn't get done. And yeah. Now it's all on me. I need to work on it. I don't know. There's a lot of feelings in this blanket because it was the first thing that I really did with a local yarn store. I think this was the first class that I ever took with a local yarn store. And I made a yarn friend, my first ever yarny friend. Y'all, I was not on Instagram at 2015. Yeah, I was not on Instagram. And so I made my first yarny friend, and then the class fell apart, and so there's like all the happy feelings and then sad feelings, and now my friend lives halfway across the country feelings. Life has changed a lot since 2015. I can tell you that. This was a big deal when I went to make it because we didn't have the money for me to take a class and buy yarn and all those kind of things. The yarn store was very nice. They, like most yarn stores, do not allow you to bring outside yarn in, especially for classes. So they helped me pick out a yarn that could fit into my budget. It is Berroco Weekend DK, and they don't have prices on their yarn. That's one of the things I didn't care for. Is I hate it when yarn stores don't put prices on things. They helped me pick out the cheaper commercial yarn so that I could participate. They even held the yarn that I would need for the blanket and let me buy it in sections as I could get a little bit of spare money to do so. This was one of those things that my husband was like, no, you need to go make friends. You need to go find something fun to do that is not you going to work, because I worked a lot. I was working a 50-hour work week. So he made the money into the budget so that I could go make friends and a blanket. So yeah. That was a lot of story. Sorry about that. The blanket just has a lot of feelings in it, and I love it, and I want to finish it. I'm nervous to finish it. I don't know. There's just kind of a lot there. Every time I pick it up, every time I look at it, it's just like a lot, and I need to finish it because it would look so good on literally any wall in my house. But definitely a wall in my studio too. Yeah. Okay, that is all 11 of my projects. I've made a hot mess of this room and need to clean it up and do all of the things that we talked about. So I have no idea how long it's going to take me to edit this video and get all of the extra footage created to go into it. Yeah, I have socks to cast on, things to measure, rows to count, willpower to find. We can do it. Got this. So, thank you so much for sitting through another long rambly episode of all those old whips. It definitely helps me to share all of these old projects with you so that I can reignite the excitement and try to get them finished. And let me know if you have any projects that need accountability for. Do I need to ask you about your old whips? You know? You got some stuff hiding in little bags of shame in the back of the closet that you need to work on? Let me know. I'm more than happy to start conversations and message people and ask you every so often how it's going, and you are more than welcome to ask me how it's going, because I could definitely use the accountability. Alright, until whenever the next episode of this is, take care of yourselves and I'll see you then. Bye. Okay. I think I can't squat like this.